Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about how to install or how to use Fastify WebSocket. Fastify is what? Basically Node.js based JavaScript framework for building APIs. But not just normal APIs but really fast APIs. Okay, and that's what they mention in their core features. It's a highly performant framework. As you can see that they themselves are claiming that they are basically the fastest web framework in town. And how do they achieve it? I'm not gonna go deep into it, but they use something called as JSON schema parser. That's a very basic Fastify introduction for you, because we are going to use WebSockets today to communicate between a store and a user. They have their ecosystem where we can go and find well maintained Fastify WebSocket plugin from the core team itself, from the core plugins itself. WebSocket support for Fastify. I'm going to go back. You have that already open, and this is a Fastify WebSocket homepage. The usage is pretty simple. You go ahead and install it, and then you go inside your. Actually, let's do one thing now. Let's open our code editor. The first step is basically to execute this command. So because I already have installed, I can go ahead and hit it directly, or it's just gonna replace itself. If there is a newer version available, it's going to download that. Now the second step is registering the Fastify WebSocket plugin. Okay, and how do we do that? Basically Fastify gives a handy method called register, and this register first takes the plugin itself as a first argument. Second argument is an object where there's a handle callback is required, and then there is the options are placed inside option object. Okay, and what this does is you can specify some keywords. For example, max payload, it literally means what it says: the maximum size of the message that is allowed to be passed from WebSocket client to server, or vice versa. If it exceeds this number, it's gonna show the error. The path basically means, do we want to run it on the home page, the WebSockets, or do we want to listen on a particular URL? This is more like authentication. For now we're not doing it, but it provides the info object. Inside that there is a request, and inside request there are headers. You usually will pass your authorization headers over here, and your token validation should happen here. And if the token is not matched or session is expired, you would ideally call its next callback with a false value. Otherwise, if the connection is allowed, user is allowed, you would pass the true as the return value. Okay, this handle callback is defined over here. This is the most basic way to use a Fastify WebSocket, but we are not going to use it this way. This is called as global declaration, or global way of handling a WebSocket. What we want to do is that we want to implement per route handler. Okay, and it is this feature which has basically invited me to use this Fastify WebSockets. Okay, it's pretty easy. You just register your web plugin. You just register your WebSocket plugin, and you go to your particular route, and in the route second argument you put WebSockets as true. Okay, and then if it finds WebSocket true, the Fastify finds that, it's going to inject connection and request as the first and second parameter instead of request and reply. And once the connection object is received on the socket, we can start listening on the messages, incoming messages. With a simple method send, we can send back the message from server to the client. Okay, now let's see in our code. So this is my real application where it's called quick store, and over here on this line I am going to write register WebSocket plugin here. Fastify.register require Fastify WebSocket plugin. We registered it over here, and now we are passing some parameters. What we want is, because we want to broadcast messages to more than one person, that's why we are going to use client tracking property true. What this property does is, in one particular URL, it keeps a count or track of all the incoming socket connections and stored them in array called clients. Okay, which I will show you how can we register it. Now once we have got this sorted, we are going to start our application backend, right? And I'm going to go to my routes, and there is something called a store chat. What this application does is that we have three methods here. One is that we would like to save the chat messages that are happening between a store and a user, so that we can load these messages whenever a person enters into the chat screen. Okay, second is to retrieve the chat messages. Okay, and it takes couple of argument. Now the most interesting part is this one. What we want is all the clients to be communicating on this particular URL, which is store chat live messages. If the WebSocket is we want the WebSocket to be connected on this URL. Okay. So in the second parameter we defined that we want this URL to act as a WebSocket, not just a regular route, and we receive the connection as a first argument, and request is second argument, but I don't care about that. Okay, now as soon as connection socket on message, so as this is an event, as soon as we receive a message, we would like to execute this code block. Okay, and I've put it up in a try catch block. So as soon as you receive the message, I basically the server receives the message. What I would like to do is I would like to store it in the database. So this is what this part of the coding does. The incoming messages are going to be in string, and I am stringifying on the front end level and parsing it over in the backend. Okay, once the message is saved, okay, now what we want to do is that as I said, we are doing client tracking. Value is true. So in the Fastify WebSocket, okay, how do we get Fastify? Fastify is available from the top to us. Okay, Fastify dot WebSocket server, okay, which is basically WSS dot clients. This basically holds an array of all the clients that we have. Okay, now in for each we are trying to send a message to all the users. Okay, so we execute a callback to it. For each takes a callback, that's why. And so if the client ready state is 1. Basically it's connected. If this particular client is connected, we would like to send a message to this client, the message we just received. Okay, so the message whatever I send, that same message is going to be passed on to everyone who is joined under this URL WebSocket. Okay, and if then any error occurs, we would like to catch it here, and we would like to send our error back to the socket server. Okay, now this is done. How do we test this part? I have a handy plugin called WebSocket Test Client, and in this client what I would like to do is, my server is running on WS 9200, okay, port number, and see this is the my base URL that I've defined in the settings, and now this is the this URL, and if I ask can I connect here, he will say yes, the connection is open. Okay, and what I would like to show you is in the WS, let me close this connection, and if I for example say, if I make the URL wrong and if I try to connect, it won't connect. Okay, it closed immediately, so opened and closed. So we don't want that, we want to be able to connect to this one. Now I would like to send a message, clean message. Okay, for which store I am sending this message. Okay, what is the type of this message? It's a text message, and this is the user that will eventually send the message. Okay, what I do is that once I hit send, it's going to show two lines. One line will be the message which is going, and the message which will be sent back to us from the server. So if I hit send, as I can see clearly that a clean message store type text user was sent. What server has responded is the ID of the newly inserted message in the database. It's with the same text store type. This basically means if we go to our localhost database and we go to store chats, and if we go to the last page, message number, this one, see, we can see our message was stored. Now let's see a demo of it from the front end application. I am going to run my front end application for it. Okay, and click on it so that it takes me to that URL. Okay, now my app is open. I would like to go to a mobile view. This is a Sapper application. Sapper is a framework built on top of Svelte, and this is my stores list which are there nearby. So I will go ahead and click in one of the store. I see there's a button called chat. I would like to go inside that, and okay, now what this basically show, I already have one message called a clean message. Okay, this is because I stored the chat messages in the database, so I'm able to retrieve them later. Now apart from that, what has happened is that my WebSocket is open from the front end application. I'm able to establish a connection with the WebSocket. It says accept open. Okay, now what I will do is I am going to send another text message which is from a customer. Once I hit send, we will see how fast it goes, saves the data and comes back. It's actually very fast. Okay, that's how the message will look like. So it's a good experience for our customer. And what I am going to do here is that I will show you how my chat application looks like. Let me close this. Instead of using a normal WebSocket, I am using something called as reconnecting WebSocket. So why? Because if the internet connection goes off, if there's any issue, I don't want to do all the hard work of reconnecting the WebSocket again. Okay, now this is the WebSocket. It's pretty simple. That's how you install it. Okay, it's a WebSocket API compatible, same interface. Basically it runs on the same standardized WebSockets which is there for back and front end both. And I'm not going to talk much on what all features it has, but the feature which is important for me. Okay, so handling connection timeouts, this is important. Okay, and debug mode, this is important for me now. Okay, so its simple usage is basically, so what does it say? WebSocket that will automatically reconnect if the connection is closed, and that's exactly I want. Once the connection is closed, it might be because of Wi-Fi dropped, internet connection dropped or anything, I would like the WebSocket to immediately get connected back to the backend as long as I am in the same page. Okay, so this does not take any special parameters like that, it just handles it. The only thing for me here is that I define my web connection socket. Here I define the debug to be true, and I don't want it to start immediately. Okay, why? Because once my user session information is available, I would like to connect only after that. So that's why RWS connect. RWS, I'm storing the WebSockets here. So with that being said, once the RWS is connected, that's when you see something called as accept open. Okay, now this is a handy method for whenever there is an incoming message happens. Okay, this particular code block will be fired. Simply accept the incoming data and parse it, because even the server is going to send us back the strings, and we make sure that this particular message belongs to our store, then only display this message, otherwise don't. And whenever the page loads, I am fetching the initial messages via this call, and this is the call for sending the messages to the server. So this area, this button click basically fires this message. Okay, we can clearly see here on click we are sending the message. So in the mobile phone it feels nice that whenever a message is sent, we would like to vibrate the phone. So this is the coding for that. If the navigator vibrate exists, I would like to vibrate it for 10 milliseconds, because we have the message with us. Okay, we have this message, there's a value inside it. Now RWS send, reconnecting WebSocket send, I make an object called this. What is the text message I want to send, what is the store, what is the type of the message, and who's sending this message. And I would like to make it stringify, because I need to send only string. It does not accept JavaScript objects, and I send it via RWS send method. Okay, once the message is sent, I would like to clear out the current message which is typed over here. I would like to clear it out, and this is the next functionality which I have to implement. As soon as somebody sends a chat message, I would like to send chat notification using Firebase. And just very important thing, whenever our component is unmounted, I would like to close this connection. Okay, so otherwise if you don't close it, the tab might be closed, but your connection incoming and outgoing will be happening to and fro. Anyhow, once this is done, I would like to show you one more thing. If another user sends a message, this is a third message. I'll show you how this will look like for a particular user. So I'm going to send it from somewhere else, and this is the screen of another user. Once I hit enter, this is a third message. See, it came immediately popped over here. So that being said, this is basically in a nutshell an introduction to Fastify WebSockets, which are very powerful. So yeah, thank you for watching this, and see you in the next one.